Let's start with the drama of Raven Clark deciding she's not going to high five Caitlin Clark. And this is exactly what the Indiana Fever have brought on this season.
Here, the messiness is already started. It's already started. Indiana Fever, y'all got nobody to blame but yourselves. You should have thought about this before you made the decision that you made. We now have people analyzing the Indiana Fever handshakes at practice.
The Indiana Fever front office has officially brought the messiness upon themselves, and we are currently witnessing what might be the most toxic training camp in the history of professional basketball. A single 17-second practice clip just leaked, and the internet has completely lost its damn mind. Fans are now acting like forensic investigators, zooming in on grainy footage and analyzing handshake lines, frame by painstaking frame. They are absolutely convinced they saw the exact moment Raven Johnson deliberately refused to high-five Caitlin Clark, effectively declaring a locker room war on day one. Whether this is the most overblown non-story of the season or the smoking gun of a total organizational meltdown, the fact that we are even talking about handshake lines tells you everything you need to know about how volatile this situation has become. Do you think Raven Johnson actually snubbed the franchise savior? Or is the fan base just primed to see a disaster that isn't there?
Of Raven Johnson and Caitlin Clark, right? Today was day one of training camp. Well, in this footage that I'm about to show y'all, Scott Agnes caught it, but ain't nobody zoom in to see what really had happened during this exchange with Caitlin Clark and Raven Johnson. Now, I told y'all earlier today, the media in...
The footage in question looks like something out of the Zapruder film. In the clip, you see Caitlin Clark, Lexi Hull, and Aaliyah Boston walking toward a group of teammates. As Caitlin approaches with her hand clearly extended, Raven Johnson allegedly steps back, puts her head down, and avoids the interaction entirely. Some viewers are claiming you can even see Sophie Cunningham's face react in real time, a look of pure, did she really just do that disbelief. To this side of the fan base, the tension isn't just a rumor anymore. It has been revealed as a palpable, dangerous reality that is already poisoning the team chemistry. They believe Raven is bringing her mean girl energy from South Carolina into a locker room that was supposed to be built around Caitlin's leadership. But that wasn't the whole story, because the other half of the internet sees something else entirely. The skeptics argue that people are manufacturing drama out of a whole lot of nothing. They point out that the gym was crowded, chaotic, and that Raven's hand wasn't even out to begin with. In their view, Raven was just repositioning herself and didn't even notice Caitlin approaching. They claim that the angle of the camera and the distance of the shot make it impossible to see the truth. According to this interpretation, the fans are so exhausted by the constant negativity surrounding the team that they are now hallucinating problems where none exist. They argue that both players are professionals, and that assuming they would carry a college rivalry into a $1 million professional career is insulting to their intelligence. However, in the world of high-stakes sports, perception often becomes reality faster than the truth can catch up.
Clip. Now, let's fast forward here. So that's Caitlin Clark, Lexi Hall, and Aaliyah Boston walking towards everybody else, right? Now, there goes Sophie. Now, Raven Johnson immediately steps back and did not shake Sophie's hand. So it started with Sophie. She did not shake Sophie's hand. Here go Raven Johnson here, right? To the left, next to another coach or player development coach. Now watch Caitlin. Oh, look, now watch Caitlin. Now she shook Lexi Hall. Here go Lexi right here in front of Caitlin. Sophie Cunningham is in front of her, right? Caitlin is behind Lexi. Watch Caitlin stick her hand out. Watch Caitlin is slow. Look at Raven Johnson's hand. Look at her hand. She put her hand down.
The real tragedy here is that the Indiana Fever organization should have seen this coming from 1,000 miles away. When you make the decision to draft a player who has a well-documented, highly contentious history with your generational superstar, you are actively inviting this level of scrutiny. The college beef between Raven and Caitlin was legendary, a battle of wills that defined their careers before the WNBA. By forcing them into the same facility, management didn't just build a team, they built a pressure cooker. Fans spent the entire offseason questioning why the team drafted another guard when they so desperately needed front court help. Now, every single interaction, every bit of body language, and every spooky look on the sidelines is going to be placed under a microscope. And the front office has no one to blame but themselves.
For Aaliyah, like, why do we... It looked like Raven Johnson backed up to me. I don't know why y'all running around. Let's stop the narrative. People trying to run around and push this mean girl.
But what happened next would shock everyone, as the Fever's PR department decided to handle the fire by pouring gasoline on it. According to multiple reports, the organization officially instructed the media not to ask Caitlin Clark any questions regarding Raven Johnson during press conferences. This was a catastrophic mistake. In the world of PR, banning a question is the fastest way to prove that the topic is sensitive and potentially true. If the relationship was genuinely fine, you wouldn't need a gag order. By trying to hide the story, they essentially confirmed to the fans that there is something behind the curtain they are terrified of exposing. This has created a vacuum of information where conspiracy theories and overanalysis are the only things left to fill the void. And the tactical decisions coming from head coach Stephanie White are only making the sabotage narrative louder. The team recently announced plans to limit Caitlin's minutes and play her off-ball more frequently this season, claiming it's part of a long-term development strategy. To the fans, this feels like organizational malpractice. You have the greatest offensive engine the league has ever seen, and you're trying to turn her into a decoy while prioritizing a rotation that features a staggering 8 guards. It feels like the coaching staff is more interested in protecting their system than maximizing the talent they actually have. This environment of suspicion has made fans hyper-aware of any sign of tension, making a simple handshake line feel like a declaration of war. On the surface, both Caitlin and Raven have been the ultimate professionals. Caitlin has talked about welcoming her new teammates, and Raven has mentioned how Aaliyah Boston has taken her under her wing. They've said all the right things, but in a fractured fan base, those words carry very little weight compared to a 17-second video. Both players are now being dragged into a firestorm that might be entirely manufactured, making their jobs infinitely harder before a single official game has been played. Caitlin has to field silent questions about her teammates' loyalty, while Raven has to deal with accusations that she's causing locker room strife on day one. It is a circus atmosphere that no championship team can survive. Ultimately, whether the snub was real or a trick of the light, the Indiana Fever created an absolute mess for themselves the moment they prioritized drama over roster fit. They've divided their own fan base, alienated the media, and placed 2 young stars in an impossible position. If the team comes out and wins, the noise might fade, but if they start the season sluggish, the mean girl and sabotage narratives will become an absolute roar that no PR gag order can silence. The 2026 season was supposed to be a coronation for Caitlin Clark, but right now, it's looking more like a documented disaster in the making. The question isn't just about a handshake anymore. It's about whether this organization is smart enough to get out of its own way. If you're tired of the management games and want the real truth behind the Fever season, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe. We aren't done exposing these organizational failures. What do you think? Did Raven Johnson really refuse the high five? Or is everyone just reaching for drama?